Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
No. I mean, we're looking at it. We're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the
But blockchain isn't crypto. Blockchain is just the underlying technology. Well, don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
But at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no. I have not heard from any one client they're looking to buy a cryptocurrency at this time. But right now, I can tell you it worldwide, I have not heard from one client who said, I need to be in this.
BlackRock, the most powerful asset manager in the world with a $10 trillion portfolio, is investing in cryptocurrency.
This is not going to be an easy task. Capital is moving, and it's going to move very rapidly. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement.
Do not be fooled. Don't let Larry Fink's friends go on TV and convince you not to buy this time around. While Hillary and friends continue to sow fear, uncertainty, and doubt about crypto into the minds of the general public, BlackRock has been forced to disclose that they're into it.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. I mean, the transformation, think about it, instantaneous settlement, bonds and stock. No middlemen. We're going to bring down fees even more dramatically. As for me, I don't have to vote on any shares anymore because the beneficial owner will do all the voting.
And by the way, this isn't the first time he's said this. Larry Fink has been getting more and more vocal on this.
This is one of the reasons why I'm focusing on the whole idea of blockchain for securities. I look forward to the day when we could tokenize stocks and bonds, that every stock and every bond we could identify immediately who is the beneficial owner. And this is why we're working on it. And every beneficial owner, from an individual to an institution, have the ability to vote, to democratize every single vote. And that's where we want to take this, and we're leading that effort. Oh, I actually believe most of the companies are not going to be around. I still believe that. I do believe
because they're now real, they're frauds, they're what?
Well, I mean, think about FTX. I mean, you could look back now. FTX created it. Its failure was it's creating its own token. It was not a DeFi. It wasn't a ledger that was open to the world. It was a closed ledger.
Right.
It was not distributed. So the whole foundation of what crypto is, it's supposed to be a distributed ledger that is across the system.
I hope you listened to the last minute of what he said there. Democratization, decentralization, tokenization, the ability to identify each person as an individual owner that also has the right to vote. The reason why I say that is because that is the direction that Vara is moving into, and is not something that is just thought of out of nowhere. But the biggest industries in the world, the companies, they're all moving in this direction, which is one thing I was excited about when I heard on the showcase yesterday morning. Now, what we're going to do right now today is we're going to watch that showcase again. So I'm going to really get into a deep dive of it. So before we do that, I want to welcome you guys. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're logging in from. My name is Brandon Ivy from Los Angeles, California. I'm the founder and CEO of Ivy League Crypto Academy. I teach this stuff. for a living. I'm also a vice admiral within Vara and soon to be admiral of the fleet. I can't wait to we're able to really kick things off. I'm loving all of the new updates that we're getting and seeing the roadmap for 2024. You guys should be getting excited as well. But there's also a lot of you that you should be excited, but you don't fully understand why. You hear the information, but it's not really making sense. Even in my class last night, we had to teach on what is a DAO, what is a decentralized autonomous organization. And next week, I don't know the exact date yet, but I'm going to do a live training for the entire Vara community on DAOs. What is a DAO? This Saturday, I will be doing a live reading of the Dark Fusion white paper. So I'm going to do that this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. But next week, I'm going to do a lesson. It'll be my first actual lesson in Vara about what are DAOs. We're going to break that down. I already have a lesson written up for it in one of my courses. So we're just going to read that course. But for today, we've actually got 2 clips we're going to play. I've already seen the one this morning. I didn't get a chance to see all of it. But the one yesterday, I was also being distracted in the morning. I'm taking my kids to school and all that kind of stuff. So when I watch it now, I really dive into this, and I'm going to try to break it down and explain it in a way you guys can understand, and do this as quickly as possible too. So you're not here all day. And this is being recorded for those that can't make it or can't stay on or whatever you got to do. And we'll post this recording as well. So welcome all of you members. This is something you might want to share with your team. We are streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. This is also streaming live in the Vara Hub Facebook group. So you might want to share this and let your team members know. So instead of them coming to you asking 1,000,001 questions about what's going on, they just plug into this and they're going to get their questions answered. So let's dive into the video from yesterday. And I'm going to be sparingly. I want to just let it run through. I don't want to go off on tangents. So I'm going to try to stay on course. So let's take a look.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Greg Stevens. I'm the founder of Vara. Today with me, I have Mike Saunders.
Oh, you guys noticed that first intro, VRX. This is a new brand, VRX. Now, a little background. When I first got started a year ago, it was we were Star Horizon. The game was Star Vara. And since then, we've evolved from Star Horizon to Vara, and then adding Dark Fusion and Fusion 1, the other branches. The reason why is all for branding purposes. Star Horizon had a client that wasn't doing what they should have been doing right, and they got a whole lot of bad press. And because of their bad press, it dragged the Star Horizon name with it. So it was smart to have a new brand of Vara that's a play on Star Vara. Problem is, there are at least 2 other Vara projects out right now, and they already have tokens on the market. So I've been doing Vara presentations, and they're on YouTube. And what happens is I'm getting a lot of messages from people saying, "Oh, great presentation about Vara. I'm so glad I spent $5,000 buying Vara tokens." I'm like, "What are you talking about? There are no Vara tokens for sale." Yes, there is. It's on the market right now. And well, that's not us. So before we really start our entire media campaign and getting out there, it's smart to have a new brand by itself. And so that ticker symbol will be VRX. So I like this direction. So let's keep going.
There's our CEO and the one and only Mr. Nick Vandenberg, CMO. It's a special occasion this evening. We've got some great news that we're going to release to the market and the network. But firstly, I just want to make an announcement around Dark Fusion. We are now live. Smart contract language is live. The protocol is live. The wallet is live. We have really delivered on the promise of Dark Fusion. It's been a long haul. It's been over 18 months of solid development in getting this protocol built out. But everything that we've been saying.
All right, so for those of you who still might be confused, what do you mean it's live? Understand that the branches are separate. You've got Vara, you've got Ultra Fair, you've got Star Vara, the game, you've got Dark Fusion. Dark Fusion's the technology. You need to be in the Dark Fusion Telegram group. Do not rely on somebody else to call you to give you the information on things that's going on. You've got to be plugged in. Whoever your Vara upline is, make sure you're plugged in. It is not their responsibility to call you because you didn't plug in. I do 4 presentations a week. All right. So I am available. We have our own Telegram groups. The Dark Fusion Telegram group itself has got thousands of members, and they're talking about this every day. So it's nobody's fault but your own if you missed, because there was a showcase last week. And in the showcase, the CMO, Nick Vandenberg, said the SCL web wallet goes live tomorrow for Dark Fusion. And then even after he said that, I had people calling me saying, I did not tell them, even though they heard Nick say that. So make sure you're plugged in. The Dark Fusion Discord and the Dark Fusion Telegram group. They're operated by different people than on the Vara side, but you've got to be plugged in. I was late on it because I was asleep. So I got my, the airdrop was what? I got a 200. And had I been paying attention, I would have got 250. But anyways, make sure you're plugged in. So let's keep going.
From the start in delivering the future of Dark Fusion and the smart contract protocol on Bitcoin is now live. List, bid, buy, trade on Bitcoin, leveraging the protocol. It's really, really an exciting time, guys. And what tonight is about, firstly, announcing the amazing news of Dark Fusion, but also what this means for Vara. I know there's been a lot of questions within the network, a lot of confusion, but tonight it all comes to a head. This is the inflection point. This is where we are going to take this business leaps and bounds. So tonight we're going to have an open discussion about some questions that the network has raised, but also some exciting partnership news that we are announcing and what this means for Vara. It's been a long haul, guys.
Hey, Greg, great to be here. Yeah, it certainly has. But I mean, if you look at what's been achieved over that period, it's just incredible, really. And to see the protocol live and functioning in the Dark Fusion wallet has just really been an immense occasion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a wild journey, and really, really amped to have been part of this.
Where I want to start now is unpacking this with Dark Fusion has now developed the protocol, SCL standard, everything that we've been promising from when we began this journey. We're live in the market with smart contract language. The standard has been built. The protocol is live. This is the first in the world. It's never been done. Smart contract tooling on Bitcoin. This is incredible. Now, what does this mean for Vara? What does it mean for the ecosystem? What does it mean for everything that we've been communicating since we started? A little bit of a background, a bit of a retrospective. We started out with a vision of building out the Star Vara MMO, and central to that story was building out the interoperability of a Bitcoin wallet, leveraging layer 1 and layer 2, which solved the problem of transferring, trading, and ownership of in-game assets, where we've encountered problems on traditional blockchains. Then we had the distribution, which is really the central core of what Vara is, this network that we've been built out. Looking at our previous businesses, we always saw the value in leveraging network marketing to distribute and propagate gaming properties. Now, where are we today, Nick?
Well, thanks, Greg. Certainly where we are today is that we have built out an incredible global network that is operating in multiple countries, that has a very robust affiliate base, And we have now got the ability to propagate an incredible product suite, all leveraging SCL, all leveraging the Dark Fusion protocol. We have now solved a lot of the problems that the traditional gaming market industry was facing with regards to speed and scale. We now have the ability to be able to reward our ambassadors with a very comprehensive compensation plan that is offering a multi-tiered reward solution across selling and propagating this ecosystem. So it's been an incredible journey over this period, and we are in a period now where we are poised to scale this business on a global scale.
It really is around that word scale. The last 12 months has really been around setting the foundation, getting all the pieces on the board, making true on the promise on delivering this revolutionary technology, which we've now delivered. If we look at the competitive landscape, when ERC20 came out with Ethereum to disrupt GameFi and decentralized finance, this is what we're now essentially doing for Bitcoin. We are the front runners through the smart contract tooling technology. And now the story comes together with Vara. And also to address a lot of the questions in the network is, how does this all tie together? Where's the continuity? And this is what tonight is about, to address those questions. Now, where we are today with Vara is that we are on the precipice of developing something that is completely novel and completely unique when it comes to the gaming industry. We are going to create the first decentralized, network-powered gaming ecosystem exclusively on Bitcoin. First in the world.
Okay, you guys hear that? Even on my crypto talk this morning, we found an article that talked about the upcoming game titles that are trying to be on using Web3 and the blockchain. And the platforms that they're using is, we saw one for Matic, Solana, Ethereum, but none of them on Bitcoin. What he said there is very important. The first to utilize Bitcoin, a problem that these other gaming companies are having. They're trying to figure out, how can we have a play to earn model that, because of regulatory issues, that it is legally able to pay out or allow their gamers to pull out their rewards in crypto legally. And they can't figure it out just yet. But in the United States, there's only one coin the SEC has claimed is not a security. That is not a central organization, is not a company. That is Bitcoin and the Bitcoin blockchain. And Vara is the first to do it. If that doesn't get you excited as far as the possibility, I don't know what is. I don't know any other way I can I can help you understand that.
Leveraging smart contract language and what Dark Fusion has created. Now, what does this mean for Vara? We have an exclusive...
I'll stop right there too. When he says leveraging Dark Fusion technology, then you've got to understand, what does that mean? What problem is Dark Fusion, the SCL, solving that is a current issue today? One, scalability. You're not able to scale on the Bitcoin network until now. Two, transaction times. Bitcoin can get congested, and it takes minutes or hours for transactions to be completed. What if that happens in milliseconds? And then cost. I was messing around doing an Ethereum transaction the other day, and all I wanted to move around was like $70 worth of Ethereum, and they wanted to charge me $25 in Ethereum gas fees. I said, what? Even Bitcoin can get up to, even though it can be cheap, $1 to $5 per transaction. Now, if you're moving $100,000 or $1 million and you only have to pay $5, that's still hella good. That's better than doing it with the banks. But what if we're able to bring that transaction cost down to 0.0002 cents per transaction? Hold that question, Kenny. Yeah, because I'll answer that. 2 cents per transaction. So we're solving three. So you combine those three solutions on the Bitcoin network in the first ever Web3 based crypto blockchain game on Bitcoin. You have no choice but to win.
Announcement and partnership tonight. And this is really going to tie back to everything that we've been announcing and communicating to the network regarding the technology and our roadmap. We're announcing an exclusive partnership as part of our listing roadmap with CoinStore to list our token exclusively in Southeast Asia as our starting point. We also have several other listings planned this year, but this is our first exclusive partnership, which is tying into the launch of the Battle Royale first phase game, really to access that Asian market, which is the biggest when it comes to gaming populations. With my background, running a listed company in the APAC region, this really is the gateway to.
Let me answer that question real quick right now, Kenny, while it's on my mind. What's the benefit of launching VRX at the end of May or after the halving? What's the strategic importance? Well, remember, Kenny, you were in my 5-day challenge with Professor Sistrunk, and you talked about that cycle. What normally happens literally right after a halving, the amount of Bitcoin that's being rewarded to the miners is now cut in half. So immediately following, the miners doing the same amount of work, they're now being rewarded with less Bitcoin. What normally takes place is a lot of them, to compensate, they sell Bitcoin that they already have to compensate until the value of Bitcoin starts to rise. And sometimes this can go on for 2 to 3 months. So the entire crypto market cap usually dips a bit. And then it goes on that 1 year to a year and a half cycle where we start to reach the top all over again. But the miners are the first to react because they're getting less. So if you want to have any tokens out there, you want to make sure you're going to have them out on the market at the beginning at the lowest possible price. So we have nowhere to go but up. All right. Does that make sense?
Huge communities in Asia. And that's why we've opted to list with CoinStore in an exclusive partnership, which we're announcing tonight. Now.
Okay. All right. I've already looked them up. They've already partnered. When I don't understand, I need to know more about what that partnership actually means. Does that mean that the token will be listed on CoinStore, or that there's more to this partnership with it? Okay, that's a question I have. You guys can ask corporate that question as well. So what exactly does a partnership actually mean, and how that benefits us? But obviously that means VRX is going to be listed on CoinStore, which is available in every country except the United States, basically. CoinStore does not allow KYC for US members. I don't know any workaround around that just yet. But that's just a first, and that's a centralized exchange that is going to be on until we see it on Fusion One's own decentralized exchange. So I don't know the timetable of that. But for the rest of the world, this is very, very good.
Everything is centered around the value and utility in the Vara token, listing on our first centralized exchange and really bringing value to the network. But before we get into the roadmap, I want to talk around what this means from a dark fusion perspective and what we're creating with this decentral ecosystem. And we've gone from the affiliate network of Vara, which has been a distribution network for the game, and in the background we've been developing this groundbreaking technology. Now The technology is built. Now we're going to leverage the SCL standard and protocol to develop out this ecosystem. The first decentral network-powered ecosystem in the world on Bitcoin. This is huge news. And this is really was the vision from the start. We needed to get the protocol live before we could execute on this vision. Now it all comes together. The story comes together.
So what we have today with Vara is so much more than what we had a year ago. Just for those of you who were not there at the beginning, we got started December of 2022. And they were not prepared to launch any type of marketing side until March or April of 2023. We kind of forced their hand to go into stealth launch in December 2022 and try to make things happen. So this has always been a build it as we go on the marketing side. Now I want to clear something up. When I make statements, and I've made these type of statements before where I said, if you're a part of this universe with us, you have to understand and appreciate that we went from stealth launch to pre-launch before we had any products out available, and things are being built, and we're the first to do it. And there's going to be glitches, there's going to be issues, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be unforeseen things that we can't even think of yet. Things are not going to flow 100% perfectly. And I state, if you are the type of individual that cannot handle that, meaning every time there's a problem, you've got something to complain about. Why isn't it doing it this way? It should be done that way. I don't understand. As much as I love everybody, I don't have time to hear all that. What I say to you is, this is how it is going in now. This is not what it's going to be in the finished product. If you can't handle that, put a pause on your engagement for the next 3 to 6 months until it gets to the point where we're comfortable and things are running smoothly toward your standards. Everything you're saying is not wrong or incorrect. The company just isn't there yet. What I'm looking for is the people who want to help get us there. All right. Not constantly complain to me that we're not there yet. So just want to make that point clear. This is the stage that we're on. And now a year later, we are far in a better position now than we were a year ago. So I'm real excited about moving forward.
Together. And what's really valuable about this strategy, specifically for our ambassadors, our founders, everyone involved in the network, is that it's not just the network that we're bringing in. All the value that we've created from our underlying properties, from Ultrafair to Star Vara to the network that we've created, is going to be owned by this decentral ecosystem. So 100% of the value that we derive over time now, when we list the token, gets fueled into this ecosystem. And that goes back to Vara holders. That goes back to the stakeholders in the system who have this share, who are the contributors, the ambassadors, the founders of this business. Everyone gets.
Jonasa, that's interesting you say. USA can use the digital Web3 residency and Palau program to KYC on exchanges. Send me a private information about that. I want to take a look into that. But thank you for putting that up there, Jonasa.
Ownership in this through the Vara token. And this is really where this gets very, very interesting in terms of empowerment, contribution to the system through outside stakeholders. We're no longer a centrally controlled entity. This is about empowering people to build value, empowering people to build value through this very unique structure. Only possible with SCL and Bitcoin, using the most trusted, the most efficient blockchain by adoption in the world, and unlocking $800 billion worth of value
That part right there. Ethereum's market cap, which is the number one altcoin that is using smart contracts, tokenization, layer 2. Theirs is 289 billion. And then you got their main competitor Solana is 42 billion. You can go to even BNB, 47 billion. What about Matic? 7 billion. Bitcoin, 853 billion locked up. And we are the first to be able to access this.
On Bitcoin. This is exciting, guys.
Great. Just to say, the way you've articulated that, I mean, it's an incredible announcement. It is really now a culmination over the last 18 months of everything that we've been putting out into the network, everything that the network's been propagating from, the sale of the access plans within the back office. The real value now is being shown in the Vara token, the whole entire ecosystem, the fact that it is now a decentralized gaming ecosystem that is going to be propagated through the entire revenue derived from all the products and services, from the transaction fees, from the...
So this move just made all the Vara even more valuable. Originally, Vara was the utility token for the Star Vara economy. The way they're doing it now, VRX is the utility token for everything inside of this space. And I shared the other day, when people don't understand what's the difference between a utility token of Vara and a liquidity token of DFG. DFG represents the gas for the decentralized Fusion 1 exchange, okay, and all the SCL protocol. Think of BNB for Binance, Chronos for Crypto.com, even Ether for Ethereum. But Vara or VRX will be the utility handling everything in this ecosystem outside of Star Vara also. So any new partners that come on, Fair, Ultra Fair, and the ones we don't even know about yet, will all be using this ecosystem. So you're going to want to have as many Vara. At first I was thinking, I think I might need to have more DFG than Vara. But you're going to want to have as much VRX tokens as possible. You're going to want to have as many access keys as possible to be able to stake. All right, keep going.
Sales of access plans, which has been sold now in the network over the last 18 months. And it's all come together now in this incredible value proposition. It is a momentous occasion.
Yeah, it's quite a profound statement, coming back to, I think you said it twice, around this decentral play, powered up Bitcoin. I think that's the key differentiator here. And it's been an incredible journey. I want to reflect on the provenance, I think a little bit deeper, further back, to how we actually got here. And it was a technical decision made, around what was available to us at the time. And we can't really understate the successes that we had in the blockchain gaming space, looking at the Polygon journey that we were on, basically crushing the chain.
With 500,000 wallets created.
Over 500,000 wallets, 2.5 million NFTs.
Okay. I like hearing that. So what you're hearing there, they've already done this before, and they had 500,000 wallets created off their project, but on the Matic network. The Matic network couldn't handle it. So imagine them just duplicating that over here, and they know more now. They have more experience. 500,000 wallets generating. That's going to be using VRX, DFG. And that's not Vara ambassadors. Those are customers doing transactions. What if it gets to 1 million or more?
That are still there. But we basically became a self-fulfilling destruction prophecy on Polygon. And we held ourselves an incredible task to say that that wasn't acceptable. We pushed boundaries. The team have done phenomenal things. And to your point, Dark Fusion's now live running, and we have the foundations to now build on top of this, and consolidate this vision.
That's incredible.
Okay, that's an important thing he stated, and this goes back to what I tell people, that you've got to. I know it can be frustrating when things aren't working exactly as planned, when we aren't able to meet timetables exactly when timetables have been stated. I'm a business owner. I've been on corporate side. I know how these things work, and I'm older now, so I have much more patience, and I have a long-term vision. So when things don't go the way we plan for it to go, I make the necessary adjustments and keep moving. And everything that's being done right now is setting the foundation for what's going to come and what's going to be built on top. So I do have a deep appreciation of that and going through this journey.
Thanks for the sentiment, Mike. It's been quite a journey. Another thing that I'm really excited about today is making this announcement, but also looking at what we've got in store now. There's a lot to unpack. We are going to be planning daily catch-ups where we will be releasing content, frequently now over the next few weeks, running through various plans on our execution strategies. But tonight was...
So again, speaking of foundation, I've been asked this question. I'm a founder member where I bought the big founder pack last year. Why should I have to buy a Pro Elite pack now? You don't have to buy a Pro Elite pack now. You're going to get the benefits of everything that you purchased. But as this ecosystem continues to grow and there's new product and services and things that's happening with the advanced compensation plan, it's strongly suggested that you might want to add on to your portfolio a Pro Elite pack as well, so that you can participate in the other things that's Vara is moving into and that's having. It's not mandatory, but it might be something that you would want to look into doing to establish your foundation to get the most out of everything that's being offered. I always live under the belief that I never leave money on the table. If a program comes out, we've got $100 and we've got $3,500. I need the $3,500. I'm here to make money. I'm here to get the most out of what I'm going to get. That's what's going to get me. If I can't afford it, I'll start at the 100, then I work my way up. All right.
Really around unveiling our strategy and our plan, communicating our partnership with CoinStore, which is now inked. It's ready to go. We are going to be listing our Vara token in Q3 this year. We're actually timing it so it's just after the halving, because there's a direct correlation between our application now, because it's a live decentral exchange where you can trade assets.
So again, how can I get my hands on this VRX right now? It's not a token yet. Well, I get the Pro Elite pack. I'm getting 16,000 of them, or as far as Vara credits. You're not going to be able to get them anywhere else. People would. I'll share this short story. When I first came into crypto, I made the most in one day. I made $60,000 in one day. And that came because I got on a project before the token went live, before the public even had it, before it was even on any exchange. And it only cost me, I think, $700 something. And I got them dirt cheap, right? 3.5 months later, when it did go live, it was now in January 2018. I sold it at 17 cents and made 60K, somewhere around there, in one day. Is there any guarantee that this is going to be a success? No. People always want a guarantee on stuff. There's no guarantee this project is going to be successful. As Stu just said, this is uncharted territory. They're doing something that's never been done before. So is there a great chance of failure? Yes. Is it a big risk? Yes. But what if they succeed? What if they only succeed by 10%? You want to make sure you're positioned to benefit from that. Oh, I want to be on the next Shiba Inu or the Doge. How do you find out about these type of projects? You're in one right now. Just look at the Dark Fusion Telegram group and watch how that's growing. Now, most people don't know about this yet, VRX.
And a centralized listing. So there are some considerations there, but this really now is where the value starts. We've got an exciting roadmap planned. Let's run through that in a little bit of detail, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the branding of this ecosystem, which we've subtly illustrated on the screens here. So firstly, to give you a roadmap now over the next 2 quarters, firstly, it's all around the game. So Star Vara Battle Royale, we released it into the network in a beta state. We've got an unbelievable road.
Let me ask you guys a question. If you own a McDonald's restaurant, would you be eating lunch at Burger King every day? You guys are ambassadors and founders of this program that already has a product that is already out in beta. It's not speculation. How many of you have actually downloaded the app and you're participating in it? Or you're actually taking it and showing it off to people. You've got it in your hands. We have a real product. You tell people, look, here's the beta version of it. It's out right now. I'm just saying.
Roadmap now for the game, which we'll be releasing in phases. The first open market release, which we're tying into various launch pads now, which we have been in discussions with, which span in specifically and predominantly at the first phase into Asia, but also we've got a LATAM strategy, a European strategy, and a US strategy. But let's look at the opening date. We've got the Battle Royale, various launch pads.
Let me hear that, because he broke something down.
Now, which we have been in discussions with, which span in specifically and predominantly at the first phase into Asia, but also we've got a LATAM strategy, a European strategy, and a US strategy.
Okay, that's important because, again, Coinstar is in Singapore. So if you listen to my presentations again at the end, I state, I believe the person that's going to make the most money doesn't know about us yet, and they probably won't speak English, and they'll probably come out of Asia. The question is, who do you know in Asia? Will they be on your team? So if you are a builder, one of your major targets right now should really be the Asian market. Who do you know over there? Who can you put this in front of? There is no restrictions for them for the Yield Pro. There is no restriction on them on the exchanges. There is no restriction on the SCL wallet. It's right there.
But let's look at the opening date. We've got the Battle Royale MMO coming into fruition now, which we're going to be launching come the end of March. Also timing for the halving now. So there is some method behind our madness. And that's really an exciting point where we're going to be opening this up on the app stores to the communities with real incentives for the network to drive the adoption, drive the engagement, and essentially bring value into the system.
All right, Isaac's asking about the ultra fair gaming. We're not receiving any updates. That is a project that is not being built. It's already there. So you go to your back office, you click on ultra fair, it takes you to their website, and everything is there. There is nothing else to update on unless they have some new projects coming out that hasn't been released yet. And if that is the case, we will start hearing about those. But it's there for you to use and participate in and play around with. There's nothing else Vara needs to do on that side.
We also now, over the next coming weeks, we're going to be listing the Vara token through SCL on the Bitcoin blockchain. And this is a lead up to our official listing with Coinstar. This is going to be happening in the coming weeks. So that's also.
Now that's what I can't wait for. I can't wait to start. I go on, or where would whether it's even on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and we're looking at the BRC20 type tokens or the ordinal tokens, or the next thing I see is VRX up there. First metaverse style game token on the Bitcoin blockchain. That's going to be big news.
So very exciting. So there's two key inflection points here. The first inflection point, three key inflection points, is the minting of Vara on SEL. The next inflection point is opening up the game.
Okay, that for those of you who don't know what that means once you've created a token, it's just a program until it's minted. And when it's minted, that means it is now burned onto the blockchain and it can never be removed after that. It can always go to zero, but it will always be there as far as value, but it will always be there. Now it's an official token or a coin by minting. So think of it the same way as somebody mining for gold. You know, once you mine for gold or precious metals, then it goes through a minting process. Same concept here. So they said first inflection, the VRX must be minted. So it goes from being actual credits to a token. That hasn't happened yet.
On the app stores, where we're going to really get momentum behind this product and start building out this network. And then the third is the listing of Vara, which is now bringing back all the value, all central to the Vara token holders. Second to that is there have been some concerns within the network around, access to value. So I just wanted to be clear around the separation here. So there are regions where we, as an organization, cannot issue tokens, which has been updated as part of our compliance structure and packs within the Vara ecosystem.
And that happened on December 1st. Threw a monkey wrench in all the plans. But they had to update. They had to make some changes.
System. And there's token value, which is Vara, where you can trade tokens openly on listed exchange. But there is also the utility of Vara within the network structure. And this relates to your access keys, your tokens, where you're able to unlock rewards and incentives through the Vara Ambassador portal.
Okay, first, think of it. Have you guys ever been to Chuck E. Cheese before? And in Chuck E. Cheese, they have their own coins. If you want to play the games, if you want to play the arcade games, if you want to do those little like bowling ball type stuff, throw darts, you need to have Chuck E. Cheese coins to do so. And that Chuck E. Cheese coin is a utility coin for the entire Chuck E. Cheese universe. Same thing here. VRX is that utility for the entire Vara universe. So I hope you get that image in your mind for that to make sense.
Do you want to touch on that, Nick?
Absolutely, Greg. I think that's quite a key point. From the very beginning, if you look at how we propagated the sale of those access keys, which was through the founders packs.
Yeah.
And we have a number of founders that are going to be on this showcase tonight watching. And it's very key. The key point here is that value equation is very much alive and has always been part of the narrative. With the access key holders, they're able to stake their Vara, for which they're unlocking this value out of this ecosystem. We've always said all along that the earning ability is tied to the revenue that's derived from the product suite, and that is still holding true today. What will take place over the coming weeks is that they're going to be able to, realize that value, unlock that value as we build out this ecosystem. You've alluded to incredibly exciting news around, the open market propagation of Star Vara within the application stores, which is going to see us exponentially grow the number of gamers, the number of players within the mobile ecosystem, which is extremely exciting, the partnerships that we have on the various launch pads, and that's going to lead to driving the revenue value, which will be unlocked through the staking mechanism within the Vara back office, tied to access keys and tied to the revenue that's derived. So
what they're doing is there automatically in the Vara Hub back office tying the staking mechanism into those who already own access keys? So it's not you're going to have to be doing anything different, separate from Ultrafair. Ultrafair is tied to the wallet and the tokens you put in that wallet, and that's in specific regions. This staking mechanism sounds as if it's going to be automatic in the back office we already have with our current inventory. I want to hear more about that as that starts to get fleshed out.
Very exciting from that perspective.
Great, guys. So there's a lot of value to unpack tonight. We could talk for hours about the strategy that's going to unfold over the next several months. But I think the key message I want to get across is our exclusive partnership with CoinStore. We are going to be listing Vara on a centralized exchange, the minting of Vara on SCL, the launch of the game, and a lot more to come within this ecosystem. The value with this decentral ecosystem in Bitcoin is immense, being front runners and all the possibilities that holds. Now, a very interesting angle to this is, and a lot of people understand when we talk about UTXOs and smart contract language, but to simplify this, how we derive value on the Bitcoin blockchain, how a Vara holder is ultimately going to benefit from this decentral ecosystem, and that comes down to the validators. Now, what's very interesting about this, all the gaming products that we bring in, the affiliate network, the partnerships, the transactional value on the Bitcoin blockchain through our Vara token, which is staked through the validators, allows us to earn Bitcoin. Now, this is a profound statement, and this is only possible through our technology.
Okay, that's really big. Normally, when you do any type of staking, your rewards is more of the token you're actually staking. So for example, if you are in the crypto.com universe and you're participating in staking of the Chronos, you're getting more Chrono. You're getting more of that token. Originally, this staking was supposed to be, if you're staking Vara, your reward will be more Vara. But again, we ran into a problem, and that's the regulation problem. And especially in the United States, the SEC, their next target is trying to go after the entire staking protocol, making sure, are you paying taxes on tokens you staked and you're earning rewards on that when you haven't even cashed that out yet into real world fiat money? So how are you taxing me on something I haven't cashed out yet? But they want to go after the staking side, or say you are earning, illegal securities, something like that. So instead, what they're doing is saying the staking protocol, your earnings, your rewards will be in Bitcoin. So this is not mining Bitcoin. I want to make this clear. You're not mining Bitcoin. You're being rewarded in Bitcoin. Why? Why would you go that route? Why would they go that route? That's universal. That's global. There are no jurisdictions on that. There's no agency saying Bitcoin is an illegal security. Quite the opposite. So this is a genius way to figure out, how will I be able to pull my rewards off the platform? Well, if I'm being rewarded in Bitcoin, there you go. So that is a genius move. I don't know if I'm giving them more credit than they deserve or if I'm thinking more into it. Because again, guys, I am not on the inside. They're not discussing. A lot of you think that I'm sitting in the boardroom with them getting information and I'm not sharing it. I'm on the outside like you guys. I'm hearing this at the same time as you guys are. I'm just able to read. I understand the language and I see where this is going. So if I'm wrong, they can correct me later, but I'm liking what I'm hearing.
We'll be the first on-chain smart contract solution that can actually facilitate this. So as a Vara holder in building out this ecosystem, staking your tokens on-chain allows you to earn Bitcoin through transactional value, through the validation. This is incredible. Mike, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, Greg, I think to really hit home, it's all about deriving value from capital velocity and an increased number in microtransactions. So extracting a marketplace out of Star Vara as a game, introducing the Vara network platform, introducing game content platforms into this ecosystem, and then having multiple contributors. We've got our network ambassadors, we've got brands that can introduce their assets, their content into this game marketplace. You've got consumers, you've got gamers. It starts painting a picture of how many contributors are actually participating in this ecosystem. The validators then come along. They support every single transaction that takes place, whether it's the transfer of an asset, it's getting gold in game, it's a payout to an ambassador who's worked really hard to build up a team. And
I need to rewind that a little bit. He's telling you all the different actions that can take that we as the access key holders, the ambassadors, are going to benefit from. Let me rewind it just a little bit. It kind of went over my head just a second.
Allows you to earn Bitcoin through transactional value, through the validation. This is incredible. Mike, do you want to speak to that?
yeah, Greg, I think to really hit home, it's all about deriving value from capital velocity and an increased number in microtransactions. So
Increasing number of microtransactions. They already stated that they attempted to do this on the Matic network with 500,000 wallets. If every wallet only did one transaction, that's 500,000 transactions that fees are generating from. Are you guys getting the big picture here? How does a guy like Sam Bankman-Fried become a billionaire in 2 years with FTX? How does CZ, the owner of Binance, become a multi-billionaire because he's the head of the exchange? How does these exchanges make their money? It's the transaction fees. How big can ours get? How many transactions can be taking place every single day?
Getting a marketplace out of Star Vara as a game, introducing the Vara network platform, introducing game content platforms into this ecosystem, and then having multiple contributors. We've got our network ambassadors, we've got brands that can introduce their assets, their content into this game marketplace. You've got consumers, you've got gamers. It starts painting a picture of how many contributors are actually participating in this ecosystem.
I have no doubt if they pull this off, this is a multi-billion-dollar entity. If they're able to pull this off, and this is why you don't want to play with this right now. You're gonna be kicking yourself later because you are concerned about how things are running today. You're gonna kick yourself. This is why I have not wavered. I understand the process, and I'm looking at, wow, even if they fail by 90%, what if Fortnite has 140 million gamers a month, 80% are paying to play the game? What if they fail that? What if they only get to 5 million or 10 million globally on everything that they're going to be adding to this? And I'm getting a percentage, albeit it may be a small percentage, but a percentage of all these transactions. They add up. I'm looking beyond just Star Vara. I'm running out of time. I gotta get through this.
The validators then come along. They support every single transaction that takes place, whether it's the transfer of an asset, it's getting gold in game, it's a payout.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, what are these transactions? So let me go back. Pay attention to this.
Are actually participating in this ecosystem. The validators then come along. They support every single transaction that takes place, whether it's the transfer of an asset, it's getting gold in game, It's a payout to an ambassador who's worked really hard to build up a team.
I actually, I'll come back and write those down. So he's talking about different activities that's taking place that is bringing all the transactions. So the ambassador side, if we're sharing it with others and we're earning rewards, that's a transaction. If you're playing the game and you trade an item, that's a transaction. If you sell an item, that's a transaction. Let me go back just a little bit.
Every single transaction that takes place, whether it's the transfer of an asset, it's getting gold in game, it's a payout to an ambassador who's worked really hard to build up a team, and from that are then able to derive this value directly in native Bitcoin. It's all about the number of transactions.
Wait, what do you say? Directly into what?
So,
Every single transaction that takes place, whether it's the transfer of an asset, it's getting gold in game, it's a payout to an ambassador who's worked really hard to build up a team, and from that are then able to derive this value directly in native Bitcoin. It's all about the number of transactions.
Directly into native Bitcoin. Huh. Not Vara. Directly into Bitcoin. See, before that, there was a step. You'd receive the Vara, and then you'd have to transfer that Vara or swap it into Bitcoin. Now they're just saying, no. We're going to pay you directly into Bitcoin. Okay.
So guys, staking your Vara or your VRX, which we're going to announce, allows you within our ecosystem at scale to earn Bitcoin. This is huge. This is a massive, massive statement, only possible through smart contract language and the standard. And we're going to be the first gaming network powered system to do this. This is really, when we look at the expansive story of our massively multiplayer, a game where we're looking at millions of subscribers, the transactional value around that and being able to earn Bitcoin, where we look at iGaming, where we look at our casino products, where we look at fantasy sports, being able to earn Bitcoin, and all that value goes into the...
Whoa. I just had another aha moment, and that comes from the question Isaac just asked about UltraFair and the casino. Earning in Bitcoin, even from that aspect. Whoa.
Vara token. This is what's incredible about that. The value opportunity behind this play is enormous. So these are some big announcements.
Let me explain something else to you guys why this is big. Most network marketing companies out there, and they attempt to create their own token, and then they want to pay you in their token, and then you've got to convert that later on. It sounds good at first, but what happens if your token ends up being worth 0, which happens 9 times out of 10 over time for a lot of these companies? They think, I don't know one company that hasn't. I remember OneCoin, WCL, all of these others that try to come up with a token, and they want to pay you in their currency, their token. What Vara is saying is, we're going to pay out, we're going to do all of the rewards in Bitcoin, a token whose value, based on the past, I can't guarantee what it's going to do in the future, but based on the past, has only gone up. So whatever you make today, if you hold it in Bitcoin, what do you think that value is going to be 5 years from now? It's like I don't want to call it double dipping or whatever, but this is wow. And no one's ever been able to do that until now.
And now let's talk about the brand. VRX, partnering with CoinStore. VRX now is Vara. We're moving from just Vara as a standalone distribution product as part of a network.
So that means, I'm going to have to get with Joe and the others. I'm going to need all new marketing and branding images. I'm going to have to take down all of my old presentations. In fact, I'm going to give a suggestion to all of you guys right now. If you have any marketing or YouTube videos or anything, I'm going to go through and scrub my YouTube. And we're going to have all new marketing with the new images, nothing tied to the old. I would suggest that you do that. Not right away. Let's wait till we get the token, everything we get through the rest of this week. And then when they get, in fact, let me, Nick just asked, is there anything else he needs? Yeah. Hey, Nick, on second thought, I'm doing the watch party right now. Yeah, we're going to need all the new marketing and the new branding images for VRX, because I'm going to have to go through and scrub all of the old Vara stuff. We don't want to have any of that out there in the database and social media. But if we can get the new marketing images, put those guys to work real quick, how much that they can pull up for us, that'll be helpful. All right, let's keep going here.
Into something much bigger. VRX embodies that. VRX is this decentral ecosystem, which is now so much more. This is where all our Vara ambassadors and contributors will have a stake, will have ownership, will be the power that makes up the system.
Okay, you remember I played that Larry Fink video at the beginning? And what was he saying at the end? He said ownership, governance, decentralized. That's where the world is moving to. That's what Web3 is all about. And now, this is a genius move. By making VRX a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, they're no longer in a situation where you've got agencies from different countries, sweating them. It's decentralized, and we are all owners of it. That's why Bitcoin is able to do what it does. There's no company called Bitcoin. There's no board of directors. There's no CEO. It belongs to the people. So they're basically going to program the system and then let it go. The system does what it does, but we are the owners of it collectively. That's very, very smart.
And that is what VRX stands for. We will be updating a lot of our social channels and profiles and websites in the coming weeks around this brand change. But this is the embodiment of what Vara is going to stand for in the future. This will be our registered ticker for the token. So all Vara tokens in the back office will be changed to VRX, but more to be disclosed in the coming days. But what's really exciting about this now, guys, is the foundation is set and we are ready to go. We are ready to start building serious momentum behind this business, and it's all up to.
So they are ready to start building. That means we need to get ourselves prepared as well. The first thing, get yourself the Pro Elite Pack. Why? It's giving you 16,000 of these VRXs. I've been saying that this is a year of accumulation. I didn't say this is the year to see how much money we can make. This is the year of accumulation. Payday is the next top of after the Bitcoin halving for all projects that you might be a part of. So right now, I need to accumulate as many VRXs or whatever other tokens as I possibly can. And the only way I can do that is by getting the Pro Elite packs.
Us as the operators of this business and the network and the contributors to building this amazing vision.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, it's a momentous moment. Everything that has culminated over the last 18 months is now represented in this VRX ecosystem. If you look at all the product suites that we've pulled into this ecosystem, the ambassador portal, propagating the message, the launch of the products on an open market platform, it's incredibly exciting. The key here is also around the simplification of the messaging in the marketplace, and it's around a single vision and a single positioning now for the VRX ecosystem and what that represents. But more importantly, to stress again, it's around the value that every revenue opportunity is going to propagate the value of the VRX token within this ecosystem. And that's really culminating now in highlighting that utility that we've been speaking about now for the last 18 months.
Just want to reiterate the value that we're bringing here as an entity. We're going from a network with up to 51% compensation plan payout. Now, all value derived through the validators goes into the pot. This is about establishing value in.
You know what that also means too? The pools that we're a part of become more valuable, which means you're going to want to get promoted as fast as you can. As I've been saying this since early last year. When Peter brought this to me and we were coming up with our game plan, we knew one thing: we need to get promoted as high as we possibly can, as fast as possible, because you're going to be in pools by yourself. And as this thing starts to grow, that's going to be insane money before it starts to fill up with more people. And they're having a promo right now where you're getting double the points, ranking points, to get yourself promoted. Now, like I'm not looking at the money side. I'm looking at positioning. I need to make sure I am in the best possible position to take advantage of the flood that's going to come afterwards.
The token that is going to drive this ecosystem forward. Regarding tokenomics, we will be releasing our updated tokenomics within the system, which line up with our founder allocation, now our pro elite allocation, which we're going to talk about now before we end this segment. And that will be released to the network by Friday this week, where everyone will have access to the tokenomics, the updated strategy, the short-term roadmap, which we will release. So a lot of clarity will be given on that side regarding the upcoming months. And we're very excited about what we're doing here, guys. It's really now is the time. Now the protocol is live. We're up in market, that we're going to start really getting momentum behind this business.
Yeah, it's quite exciting, Greg. Yeah, really looking forward to how this unpacks.
So guys, what we're going to address now is some questions from the network, which we would like to talk about openly, just so there's transparency and clarity. The first is around the founder status and what it means to be a founder and all our early contributors, and what is their value, what is their share in this system. Now that the system is completely decentral, what does that mean from a value perspective?
So their share from a founder status perspective represents true value in the overall ecosystem. It represents their ability to make decisions within the DAO component, as well as derive additional benefit in the form of rewards and revenue.
Okay, so that's what I got to understand more. Is he saying that if the only ones who are voting on this as part of the DAO are those who bought the founder packs, or is every single ambassador considered part of the DAO? The way I've been hearing it, watching this, it sounds more like there's only two ways. If you are a founder and you have founders have access keys. If you're a founder and if you have the access keys, because the access keys are the validator nodes. So I need a little bit more clarity on that.
So it is clearly now articulated that their founder status membership now represents this value. They're able to unlock that value, and it's giving them a true sense of ownership within this VRX ecosystem.
Great. So another question that came through is just regarding the Dark Fusion allocation in terms of the 100-to-1 swap for a lot of our early contributors. What is the process? We'll be releasing details around that. You will be able to claim, obviously subject to KYC, you'll be able to claim your DFG tokens through our DGE airdrop, which will be run through the Dark Fusion wallet. So if you haven't set up a wallet, go set up a wallet now. And then.
Okay, I heard that term. We have DFG. Did he say DFE or DFG? Let me move that back. Someone asked me that question earlier.
Obviously subject to KYC, you'll be able to claim your DFG tokens through our DGE airdrop, which will be run.
So they're calling it a DGE airdrop. You'll be able to claim your DFG token through the DGE airdrop. Okay.
And through the Dark Fusion wallet. So if you haven't set up a wallet, go set up a wallet now. And then we will be sending out communications where you can follow the process to get access. As early participants and founders, you'll be able to access those tokens on the 100-to-1 swap. So I know there's a lot of information, guys, that we're releasing here tonight, and there's probably a lot to unpack in one sitting. So we're going to be doing this as a staged approach. We'll be hosting another Dev Diary, so tune in tomorrow. Some more exciting news around unpacking all of the detail around this. Talking about the tokenomics, the rollout plan in more detail, the governance structures, what it means for founders, what it means for the pro elite pack holders. We will be hosting another conversation tomorrow night, so definitely tune in for that. But the news around this is the partnership with CoinStore, our token listing, the announcement of the first network-powered decentral gaming ecosystem on SCL. This is big news, and really all this value is now being given to our ambassadors, our networkers, our contributors through the token value. So these were the big announcements tonight. It's great to be here, and I really appreciate the support, guys, and a lot more news to follow in the coming days. Thank you very much.
All right. From that, yeah, I'm very, very, very excited. More excited than I was when I watched it yesterday, because I like when I can break things down and I can think out loud. Yeah, now's the time, ladies and gentlemen. They seem to be ready. I'm going to play now the second one. This is short. This is what took place this morning. So let's see what this is saying.
Hey, I'm Greg Stevens, founder of Vara, sitting here with our CMO, Mr. Nick van den Berg. Very excited to be here. And as promised and as discussed in yesterday's call, this will be a series of calls and segments that we will be releasing over the coming weeks to keep you informed about our progress with some exciting partnerships and strategies that we've got in place for building momentum behind our great company. Now, we're going to keep today's segment short. We've got some questions from the network which we'd like to answer. Just to give you guys some insight over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, we will be hosting a deep dive into the structure of this new exciting decentral gaming network-powered ecosystem on Bitcoin, so you guys really understand the nuance of it. You understand how the structure works and how this translates into value. So we'll be going into a deep dive of that structure tomorrow, also talking around the decentral autonomous organization and the governance and how it all works. So that will be tomorrow's discussion. And then Friday, we will be talking around tokenomics. This will be a pre-discussion before we release the documentation to the market. We're going to go into a deep dive into the tokenomics and how that value and utility is all reflected in the numbers in terms of lockups, vesting, the roadmap going forward now over the next 24 months. So that'll be Friday's conversation. So firstly today, I'm going to just run through some questions from the network, which I'll address. The first question we got after last night's call was, when is the website going live? So we're obviously going through this metamorphosis of our brand now. Vara is becoming VRX, which is the embodiment of this new system. The websites will be going live over the next few weeks. There will be a progressive rollout of the branding. Our social channels will be changing, but remember, VRX is still the essence of Vara. This has purely been done for strategic reasons. Also, when we're listing a token, it's got to make sense across the board. There's got to be universal acceptance on the brand, making it easy for people to understand, easy for people to access. So we will be doing a gradual release of the branding on our socials, on the websites over the next coming weeks. When is VRX going live with SCL? This will be taking place over the next 4 to 6 weeks. We will be minting exclusively on the
4 to 6 weeks. So we're talking about really the end of March. March 15th, a little more than 30 days from now. So yeah, I would put it at, I always go at the end date. So we're talking about end of March, April. And I think I said that to our team the other day, when I think that we're going to really see this project start to take off the end of March. So keep that in mind.
Dark Fusion SEL standard. This is really the foundation of everything that we're building here. The tokens will be listed on the SEL protocol, and that really is the start of building out this amazing.
That's the next thing. So those saying, well, the token is us on Coin Store and we don't have access to it because we're in the United States. Well, in about 6 weeks, it'll be on the SCL's Fusion decentralized exchange. Then we will.
Amazing decentralized ecosystem for gaming exclusively on Bitcoin. We've had a lot of questions around tokenomics, so I'm going to leave that until Friday, where we're going to go into a deep dive with the team. That's going to be an exciting discussion, and you're really going to see how that ties into the promotional value and everything that is the makeup of moving forward. When will VRX be available on the Dark Fusion wallet? So I've answered that question. That's going to be available in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And when will VRX be listing on the centralized exchange? I made a mistake last night. So I said Q3. Well, technically it's at the end of Q3, but we're looking to launch in May, possibly the end of May, and maybe even slightly earlier. So we're timing this just after the halving. Just to be clear, we have signed the contract. We could list our token in the next 2 weeks. As far as we've been through the application process, it's all been signed off. The ticker's been signed off. It's really around a strategic move now. It's giving the opportunity for the network to come in on the tier 2 status now, which is the Pro Elite, before we go into a public sale officially, before we list.
Interesting. So when you hear tier 3 status, when new coins and tokens are coming out, you've got, tier 1, private sale, tier 2, closed open sale, tier 3, anybody now who becomes a Vara. The only way you can get this if you're a Vara ambassador. So if the outside community wants to get their hands on these tokens, they got to join Vara and purchase a pack. And then after tier 3 is the open market, which means anybody can buy the tokens, whether they're coming through Vara as an ambassador or not. It's going to be on the exchanges. That is what we need, where we want to get it to. And we have so many wallets out there that's making these purchases and all those transactions that's going place. That's for those of us who got it early. This is when you see the value of it go up, because now it's open to the public. And we got to get it to a way more, there's far more people on the public getting their hands on it before the people on the inside decide that they want to sell. Because that's what happens. People are thinking, I need to make money next week. So the moment the token goes live, everybody wants to sell what they've got. So they're rolling this out pretty smart.
So this really is around a strategic offering to the network. And then obviously with the game going live, we're looking to take this public. We're dealing with a lot of launch pads where, this token will be accessible through the broader, larger public market.
I have another suggestion. And did I say this in the beginning? As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I share information for entertainment, training, and educational purposes only. There's no guarantee of anything. I would suggest, though, based on what we've seen in the past with other projects, based on the fact we know Bitcoin halving is coming, and based on the fact we know what happens after halving happens, that I would not suggest that you try to sell all your VRX as soon as you have the ability to. I personally, I could say what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold on to as many tokens as I possibly can, at least next year and a half, before I even think about that I'm trying to sell anything. Yeah, the Vara, well, the Vara is not that they've been turned into credits. That's just what they're called. The Vara has never been minted yet. It's never been a token, so it's not a token. So yeah, you can the correct pronunciation of it is a VRX credit or VRX or credits. That is correct. And no, you don't have any. So I now have no assets. You have the credits. We can't call it an asset because it's never been minted to actually have value. Okay. And I'm public right now, so I've got to use the right language for compliance. We never bought any assets. Vara never sold any assets with the purpose of hoping that that asset increases in value. Vara sold products to be used inside of the game and the ecosystem. Okay? I want to make sure that I'm very clear on that. I don't want anybody quoting me or saying that I said anything different. All right.
So anywhere from, we say March, end of March, up until the beginning of May. But we will keep the network updated on this. Very exciting partnership that we have with CoinStore. We're also going to be running some media blitzes now. So we're going to be working with CoinStore. We're going to be using their platform to access their Asian communities and networks.
Who do you know in Asia? I'm not playing. Who do you know? Mike So. I know you're going to watch this replay. You are in the best position of every single person in my organization. Literally, where you're positioned and where you live. I mean, Peter, yeah, get on with Mike So. The best possible position in the binary and where he lives. Oh my Lord. Are you kidding me? Let me put this back just a second.
Platform to access their Asian communities and networks. Again, I mentioned on the call last night, we have a number of launch pads that we're working around, which is all strategic around how we get the message out, how we're going to build adoption around this game, and really bringing that value to the network. So doing a lot of external presentations to the media with these launch pads to big gaming communities that we're going to start reaching out to now. So that will all be happening now.
If I was in Asia, I would make at least $1 million this year. Knowing what I know, not without and them going on a media blitz all throughout Asia, I'd make at least $1 million, at least on the low end.
In the next week. So we've got some big announcements for next week as we start this process. And then lastly, we have how are the existing pack holders benefiting from the new staking mechanism of Yield Pro? So Yield Pro is an exclusive allocation given directly to the network arm of this ecosystem. And this is to empower the network and the community to really go out and build the substance of what the makeup of this network is ultimately going to be. And you need to be incentivized to do that. Remember, the network is really the core driver of how we're going to propagate, distribute, and build out this ecosystem. And this Yield Pro allocation is an allocation for anyone that participates in helping us build out this network. So it's as simple as purchasing a pack, staking it in Yield Pro, and getting access to a fixed amount of tokens over a period of time, but only exclusively to the network. This won't be given to the public. This won't be anywhere else where you'll be able to access these tokens. So that's really answering that question. And lastly, we're just going to touch on the promotions that are going to unfold over the next 6 weeks now and quarter.
That sounds like they're extending the promotion. So there was a promotion right now that was supposed to run to the end of February, but it looks like they're going to extend it probably all the way through March.
So that theme is the Pro Elite Pack, which is really the second tier now. We had our founder status last year, which was all our early contributors. These are really This is the tier 1 echelon status, which is going to be disclosed in our tokenomics. And now we move into the Pro Elite, which is our second category. And then our third category will be public sale. So this is the last time you'll be able to get a grouped allocation of tokens and really all this value that we're bringing into it before we go live with the public sale. Maybe you just want to talk us through that, Nick.
Thanks very much, Greg. Just to give you some detail for the network around the Pro Elite packs, it forms part and parcel of an incredible limited supply where you're able to access additional value in the form of 16,000 VRX tokens. We're going to go into the tokenomics on Friday, so that's where it's all going to tie together. Don't want to give too much away, but from a high-level perspective, leading up to the ICO, this is going to be one of the only ways that the network's going to be able to acquire additional VRX tokens until the public listing.
Thanks, Nick, for the update and the overview on what's to come. A lot of this applies to the tokenomics, which we'll be discussing on Friday and tomorrow, where we will be running through the structure of this decentral ecosystem. So this was a short update tonight just to address some of the questions that we received from the network. There's so many exciting things that we want to talk about, but as again, a lot of information, and we're going to be doing this in a staged approach. So tune in tomorrow for the unpacking of the DAO structure, and then Friday is tokenomics. That's what
You say tune in tomorrow for the unpacking of the DAO structure. Hey guys, what do you think we covered last night?
where we're going to go in detail around utility, value, and how the tokenomics work. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Well, I hope I was able to provide more clarity to what you guys saw yesterday and today to understand why you should be excited. And I can't tell you to be excited. All I can explain to you is what they're doing, why I'm excited, and why I am still here. I have a long-term view on what's taking place, and I want to make sure that I am in the best possible position to win. And right now, that is making sure you get a Pro Elite pack as well. That's going to get you not only the 16,000 VRX credits, but also 2 more access keys. Those are going to be the big winners too. Whoever has the most access keys and credits to go with it. So that puts you in a good position. And then we sit back and we we don't sit back. Actually, I'm about to put my foot on the gas and start sharing with more people. I know that the people who's going to make the most money don't know about this yet. And I want to make sure that I'm the ones who's telling them about it. Who do you know in Asia right now? That's the key. Who do you know in Asia before they get to, things happen on our side here in the United States? So they're going to have a call tomorrow. Looks like they'll probably tomorrow's Thursday. And they're doing the tokenomics on Friday. So I will probably, Friday is normally my day off. I will probably do a watch party on Friday afternoon based on what we see tomorrow and Friday, if there's going to be a need for me to even do one. So based on that information, we'll see, because I don't know what I'm about to hear. I'll do another watch party on Friday afternoon, maybe same time as I'm doing this one, because that's going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern, the tokenomics. So yeah, I'll probably be able to do a watch party at 2 p.m. I'll go ahead and, let me ask you guys, would you guys, even though we don't know what we're about to see, would you like me to do another watch party on Friday? Type it in the chat box, type yes or no. If it's yes, I'll go ahead and schedule it. And then we'll just roll with whatever information we get. Saturday, I will be doing a live reading of the Dark Fusion white paper. That will be at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. I already have a link for that posted in our Telegram group. And this recording from today, you can use the same link you're on right now to watch the recording. So when I'm finished, just click back on it and you'll be able to watch the recording. You can share it. I will also upload to YouTube as well, and I will put that in our Telegram groups. And then next week, sometime I will do a special training on DAOs like I did for my crew last night. I'll do a special training for everybody on DAO so you understand what a decentralized autonomous organization is. And when you hear guys like Larry Fink getting all excited every time he mentions it, why is he getting excited over this? How is this going to impact every single person on the planet? We're all going to be involved whether we like it or not. It's happening. All right. So that is it. All right. You guys all saying yes. All right. I'll go ahead and schedule it. We'll have the watch party Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. I'll put the link in our Telegram group. I am doing a presentation tomorrow night for Vara. Let me think. Yeah, I'm going to do a generic one. I also posted in our Telegram group the compensation plan. The CMO, Nick Vandenberg, recorded the compensation plan. I'm not going to add it to my presentation yet until after all the announcements this week. Then I'll start adding it. We'll get back to doing fast start training after the presentation, which will cover some of the compensation plan getting plugged in. So we're almost there yet. One thing that I'm waiting for is when all withdrawals are paid out. I got a message from Nick today that said that's actually starting right now. So some of you guys may start getting it as early as today. It's supposed to finish by the 10th. Wait a minute. Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not doing nothing on Sunday. All right. Monday, international presentation. I might add compensation to that, but only after everybody gets their withdrawals done. Then I'll start talking about the money side again. So with that, I hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. And I will see you all tomorrow on the next update call. And I will be doing a VAR presentation tomorrow night. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.